Hell, what? Okay, stop that. Okay. Hello, everyone. How are you? All right, we got quite a few people already in here. I'm sure that number will go up as we start to tick into the opening a little bit. We got some really cool announcements to make today. Hope everyone has had a great week. Apparently, here where I'm at, it decided to go from a nice, lovely 50 degrees yesterday to jumping up to like 80 freaking 4. Um, which is funny because I ordered a light jacket because there's usually that nice little transition. Apparently, they decided no transition this year, but that's okay. We'll get through that. Hope everyone is doing well. Perwin, good to see you. Jade, good to see you. And Saeed, good to see you as well again. Um, has been a busy week. I won't even lie. I am tired, to say the least. But it has been a productive week and it has been a good week here. Um, there is something actually satisfying about being tired and being productive at the same time. Maybe I'm just weird, but I actually enjoy it because it's like I got something accomplished. I did something with my life. It I really do enjoy it. It's a lot better than being tired if I sat around the house all week and did nothing. I hate that feeling. Um, Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Peachy, hey, you made it. Glad you could make it. Dragon of the West, hello. And that's AT, welcome. See you again. Mugs up. Hey, mugs up. Mugs up. Everyone, do remember we do have the super chats. I keep getting griped at because I keep forgetting to say it. If for some reason the chat gets busy, your question's not getting seen, you can make a small donation. It'll flash up on the screen. YouTube will make sure I see the thing. In which case, I'll make sure to get to your question. Um, Last week, I think we had our biggest super chat probably in the history of this channel, which still floors me. Um, but thank you for the support. Also, if you just want to support the channel, you can just donate a little bit here or there, whatever you can do. Some of you have sent them in just to buy me a cup of coffee. And what is love if love is not coffee? So I appreciate that very much. Mugs up to everyone who's ever done that. And yes, you can still get the Working Dragon Mystic coffee cups at the merch store with the link below. Someone asked me about that in an email this week, and I did go over and check. The links are working and everything, so I guess they were just thinking we might have stopped them. Now, that said, some of the limited ones, like the Halloween one that was for a specific Halloween contest that year, those are sold out. Those were in limited supply. But the Working Dragon Mystic specifically, like the Dragon's Eye seal, the artistic seal that you all usually see me drinking out of on here, those are very much available. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. Hey, GK, good to see you as well. AT, hit the like. Yes, everyone, please do hit that like button. The algorithm, the YouTube, they really eat up those likes. They love them, and they let people know you all enjoy this content, and that helps them to show more people. It helps us get the message out to more people. So yes, AT is right. Hit that like button. Dragon of the West asked, does belief or disbelief in magic or its power lessen its effectiveness? And actually, yes, it does. If you go into a ritual and you do a ritual and you believe from the start of the ritual to the finish that it will not work, you will not get results because essentially your belief will direct your intent, and your intent is for it to not work. And the more disbelief you have, the harder it is going to be to make it work. That's why people say doubt is the enemy of the magician. And belief is the same thing. The easier it is for you to trust in your magic and to believe in your magic, the more effective it becomes. This was a really, really hard hurdle for me and a few other people that's in the Discord server, which I got a huge announcement on that. Let me finish this, though. We have worked through, because there's a lot of people who are very analytical, very data-based, and it's really hard to go with belief and faith kind of concepts. And if you already disbelieve, what do you do? Well, for me, I utilize the scientific method, and I step out of belief and disbelief, period. Um, so I go through the entire process with the intent for it to work, and I try to pull myself out of disbelief or belief one way or the other because I go into a data collection kind of mind frame. My entire mind frame is to follow the process and collect the data accordingly. Now, the process, of course, is to reach a goal. So, in the testing, I am testing the process to reach that goal, and the data I'm collecting is did it reach the goal or not. This does help me step outside of the belief or disbelief, and um, I've taught this to my students as well. And you start seeing results pretty quickly. And as you start seeing the results, as you start trusting the process, um, you can call that belief if you want. For me, it's more, I've seen it work, but it is essentially the same thing as belief. So since you're seeing it working, since you're seeing that pan out, yeah, it starts working more and more effectively. But the more and more doubt, more and more disbelief you have, you can actually ground out your own magic. I've seen that happen a lot of times. I did an entire video on letting energy go. I'd go check that out as well. Um, let's see here. We got some things. Good evening. Jedi, good evening. I'm here. Have coffee, lighting my dragon's blood candle. Incense now, Guardian Dragon helping out. Hey, Jedi, sounds like you got a good setup going. I got a good friend. She makes dragon's blood soap. Smells so divine. I need to order some more of that. I have my coffee and I'm new here. I send good solar vibes out to the chat. Hey, Moonman, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've always been a bit more of a nocturnal rat myself, but loves me some sunshine. Love to get out and do some fishing, do some hiking. So thank you much. Good vibes are good vibes. I love them all the way. You know what I mean? What is the astral realm like? Let me answer this before we get into our announcement. The astral realm is actually one of the hardest realms to describe because it is one of the most morphous realms. Now, what do I mean by morphous? So, in its base state, think of a massive. Um, okay, think about what you would expect space to look like if there was no planets, no stars, no nothing. It's just this vastness. Um, Most people even refer to it as the astral ocean because it's just this vast nothingness. However, fill that nothingness with almost clouds and fog like overlay, okay? And this overlay is usually in the purples and blues and grays, but I've seen it pretty much all the colors of the rainbows depending on where you're at. Now, that is in its base state the astral realm. However, the astral realm follows thought. So essentially, if you go to the astral realm, whatever you expect to see, you're going to end up seeing because your thought will shape it. It will literally shape around you. It is the most morphous place. It's really kind of cool. And it's really hard to get a chance to see it in its unshaped state more than anything. Um, but yeah, when you first step in and you're starting to see that fog around you, that's its unshaped. And then as the fog clears, people say the fog's clear so you can see. It's not actually clearing; it's taking the shape of what you're expecting, um, or what your goals are. Even it will actually take the shape accordingly. This is why you are literally able to craft an astral sanctum. You're taking that essence of the astral plane, and you're literally building your own mini demi-plane within that infinite of the astral plane. Okay, now, huge announcement. Huge announcement, people. So, many of you know we have a Discord community. Many of you are in the Discord community. Many of you take part in this Discord community. We've got a lot of great people over there sharing ideas, asking questions. It has been a lot of fun. However, Discord sent me an email talking about some policy changes. Now, one of those policy changes deals with, we'll say, medical science, healing, data, things that have to be proven, backed, all this kind of stuff. I'm trying to say this without getting in trouble here on the YouTube. Now, at first read, didn't think too much of it. However, As of today, I'm aware of 10 metaphysical discords that I know of personally that have been shut down due to this one singular policy change. Working Dragon Mystic has not been hit by it yet, thankfully. However, y'all know me. I like to plan ahead. I like to have a plan. I like to be prepared. So with that in mind, myself and the admin, especially Jade has been a huge help in this week. We tracked down a place where we could build a second community, which we found Gilded. If y'all haven't, I've never heard of it. This is the first time I heard of it. And I read through their policies. I've done all the look-sees and all that. And we decided that we're going to create the secondary Working Dragon Mystic server. And as of, I want to say Saturday, we announced that we are going to slowly start transitioning over the next 3 to 4 months to the Gilded community, which we announced it on the Discord. Some of you who's looking for the Discord link may notice the Discord link's not here. That's because we are slowly going to start phasing out of Discord because we don't want to run the risk of just logging on one day and the community is not there. So we are in that transition. Discord's been good to us. I have enjoyed using the platform. If it wasn't for this policy change, I really don't see us. I don't think we would have moved. So no bad blood there. But this is, I think this is actually going to be a positive because in setting it up, both me and Jade found a lot of features inside the Gilded site that we can't do on Discord at all. And it's actually going to allow us to grow Working Dragon Mystic and grow the communities in all new ways. And I got to admit, some of these ideals I'm really excited about, including the potential for me to do the workshops and the classes that I used to do when I was traveling more. Only now we're going to do more of a streamed version of those particular workshops. We don't know exactly how we're going to do it just yet, but it actually has a thing similar to like Patreon or whatnot, where like the channel subscribers here or whatnot could actually get in there and view those free of cost when I do them live and participate in those. And I have really missed being able to do these workshops, be able to do these talks and these discussions. And I thought it was the travel I was missing more than anything, I'll be honest. But I think I'm just missing being able to do the workshops. So it's going to give us a new platform to expand. And it also kind of shores up a secondary problem because there's a lot of you who told me you're not good with the YouTube community side of, like supporting. So you prefer Patreon, but Patreon's been getting wonkier and wonkier and wonkier. So this would give us a option for those who don't want to do the channel memberships, but may wanted to do Patreon or something else as well, because it is, Patreon keeps getting wonky, people. Business, I hate business. You know how it goes. So, it's the ups, the downs, but I have a great community here. Y'all have been very supportive and very understanding of the dance I have to do to keep the lights on around here, and I appreciate it. Mugs up to y'all. Y'all have been great. Needless to say, this whole cabacle's got us a little bit behind on other things. And, of course, just stress and business and life in the world's got us behind on a few things, but we're doing good overall, and that is great. And one of the things I have to say is I've said it on this channel a lot. I said hard times and strife and obstacles are what is presented to us to help us grow. And my admin, and especially my daughter, knows that when this all hit, it all hit on the same day. It just all kind of fell down. And my de-stressor is pretty much a long line of profanities and planning for the absolute worst. And then the next day, I'm on it. So after having a good long day of laughing at me and my, we'll call them unique way of turning a phrase, while also gathering the information for my plans, we all pulled together, and I mean, it was the very next day we could see the benefits and the potential growth. And that's what I'm talking about, people. That is what I'm talking about so much when I'm talking about those hardships and that strife. Um, it can look bleak. It can look very, very bleak. Nick, hey, next is that Nenix? If I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. Mugs up to you. Thank you for the super chat. Even for somebody like me, it can get overwhelming. We gotta, we all deal with stress in our own ways, and I try to find a healthy way. And if screaming at a wall helps you de-stress and helps you focus, then by all means do it. My wife has actually said many times, if I had a TikTok, it wouldn't be metaphysical. It wouldn't be anything like that. It would be me just filming myself ranting about random stuff, because that's what I do. I rant and then I laugh and I go on. So I don't know. And apparently my wife is highly amused at the crap I rant about. Guess it's a good thing, because apparently I do it a lot. Anyways, that is one of the things when those hard times hit, try to remember there's a reason for it. It may be hard to see sometimes, and sometimes in working your way out of it, much like I did here, where it's just like there was a point. It's like every time I'm trying to do something, there's a new wall. And I think I even told my wife, I was like, why do I keep just finding a new way around the obstacles that keep popping up? And I hinted at, why don't I just give up? And she's like, well, you could, but then she looked down the corner of her eye and was like, but you're too stubborn. You won't do it. And she's right. I'm stubborn. I won't stop. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. So, yeah, good times. And I do honestly think we got a lot of great changes coming because of this. So if you're in the Discord, we have posted a link to the Gilded site. Sign up there. There's actually an application now with a few questions that it asks. Just go through that, answer those as you can. Please do not put your name down as anonymous. Put an actual unique name, tag, or something that we can call you by in there, so we can actually have real conversations and know who you are. And if you're not a member of the Discord yet, well, the link to the Gilded Community is already in the About section of this channel. Come on over. We'd love to have you. We've already got some great conversations started up. The transition's going. The Discord community is going to be there. The server's going to be there for another 3 to 4 months, but slowly it's going to start to be filtered out. So if you are on that Discord, make sure you're moving over, because for now, I'm doing announcements in both places in the hopes that everybody will get them. But slowly, as we get closer to the end of the line there, it's going to become more and more just down and reminding you to come over to the Gilded. Because my admin, okay, again, mugs up to my admin, because all the time, all the effort, all the work they do for this community, they do free, okay? They're insanely helpful. They believe so much in what we're doing here in this community. And I can't ask them to do that in 2 places at the same time. That's just crazy town, but they are amazing. Good team of people. Crazy, but good team of people. Of course, to work with me, they got to be crazy, right? With that, before I hit that like button, we got 21 people in here and 12 thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, people. Help us tell the YouTube to send this out to more people. See, we got a few new people wandered in here. Sounds like my de-stressor too. Hey, if it works, it works. Both my wife and my daughter laugh at me. They love to see me go on rants, and apparently I carry on the tradition of Southerners being able to turn a phrase very humorously. So that's cool. See, hello, so happy to catch you live. Hey, Corey, mugs up. Glad you can make it. Always glad to see some new faces in the chat. I think you're new. I don't think I've seen you before, or you've not made it too often. Either way, glad you made it. Let's see. Hung, I heard there's a tarot card that isn't part of the deck, but I heard Azazel knows this. Don't know how true it is. I'd actually say it's probably not too true at all. Um, First off, the tarot deck was actually designed as a game. Okay, it was not designed as a divination or magical tool at all. Tarot cards were designed as a game, no different than playing cards, really. They were just more pictorial in their design and more artistic due to the time period they were designed. They were later um, applied and utilized to divination and magical uses. You can actually pick up a standard deck of cards and use it for divinations. There's a lot of people who do it. There's a lot of people who teach classes on it. In fact, I may actually do a video on standard playing card divinations. I'm a fan of it. I love it. So is there a ancient missing card? Nope, there's not. They were a game. That's one of the reasons like oracle cards are the same thing. Oracle cards actually probably are, even though I'm not by and large a fan of oracle card decks because I think they leave it too broad, they actually have a bit more basis because they were literally designed with divinations in mind. Now, that said, I will give oracle cards this. I absolutely adore oracle cards because the smaller deck tends to allow people to learn them, pick them up, and more importantly, oracle cards really focus more on letting you listen to the card. So many tarot decks and tarot classes are talking about this card means this, and they like lock it down, and it's really hard. Whereas if you go to our Working Dragon Mystic tarot class, where we actually go through and teach you the tarot class or tarot reading, we give you key words, but we also teach you how to listen so that you can continue to build that divination skill much, 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 much further. And so, I've actually heard that claim too, and that's one of the things I asked Azazel about when I was doing my path working with him, and he actually kind of laughed at me for asking because I already knew it was a game. So he's like, "Why would you think there was a missing one?" And I was like, "Well, I don't know, but you didn't have to laugh at me. Thanks, buddy. That's how it goes." Let's see. Gave a like. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate that. Yes, the likes went up. We got 17 likes now. Keep those coming, people. Let's see if we can't get the likes as high as we got the people in here today. Let's see. I know the administration do a great job. Thanks. GK, yes, thank you. The admin definitely give them a shout out. They're amazing. Moonman. Coffee. Thank you for the super chat, Moonman. Let's see, was the Jupiter Kazemi for you? Oh, I'm tired, but Jupiter Kazemi is not ringing a bell, man. Nice to get you live. Yeah, coffee YouTube does not like my. Let's see, tried to get you a coffee. Oh, YouTube don't like the. Oh man, sorry about that. So, um, I've had a lot of people tell me this. I'm trying. It's one of those things which weird because I know a lot of people's trying to support the channel and certain things like YouTube's being a butthead. I can look into finding like a PayPal solution or something. I hate doing that because if I have too many things, I feel greedy. But at the same time, it's you guys have been asking, and I'll see what I can do. Let's do with that. I'll see what I can do without it turning into a big thing. You know what I mean? Oh, we jumped. What do you think about people who claim tarot comes from Egypt? I've not really seen anything that traditional tarot historically comes from Egypt. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some beautifully Egyptian art designed tarot cards, but I've not seen anything to show a historical basis for that as the origin of tarot. And that's me talking to a lot of people who their whole life is tarot. So Let's see. I think a lot of people, Karios, I think a lot of people's working more and more with Azazel. He's a fascinating entity to work with. Really cool guy. I enjoy working with him, and a great teacher in my mind. Let's see what we got here. Planet, Jupiter conjunctions. Oh, yeah. I weirdly I don't follow the movement of the planets too much. My philosophy on magic has always been I control my destiny, the energies in my life, and if I am constantly working to direct the energies in my life and the energies that affect me, then I don't have to worry about where the planets are because regardless of what they're doing, I'm still shaping the energy in my life. That's always been my philosophy, and it's worked very, very well. It's also the reason I completely avoid the effects of Mercury retrograde. Which, if you check it out, I actually did a video on Mercury retrograde in that because I get asked all the time why I don't care about it, why it don't bother me, and so I finally did a video and I even explained the process that I use in that. So when these conjunctions happen and stuff, I'll be honest, I'm probably the most oblivious magician on the planet when it comes to those. That is definitely a short spot in my knowledge. I have to really pull out the old research books and start putting. I know how to do it, but I have to pull it all out and put it together from the ground up. It's not something I follow on a regular basis. See, I am the Gretchen. Do. Oh crap, we jumped. Okay, we are getting a busy little chat in here today. This is amazing, people. Mugs up. Let's see, what is this? Corey. You're not greedy. Let us pay you for your knowledge. Aw, you guys are sweet. I agree with Corey. Your knowledge is valuable, but I understand where you're coming from. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I will try. I do have like a PayPal thing where, like when I'm working with clients, I give them that. I don't know if there's a way to tie it into the YouTube here or anything. Um, but I'll look into it and see what I can do. Um, Gilded has a few options I may look into as well. Uh, Teachables might even have a way. I might be able to set something up on Teachables where you can do like a what $4 to $5 coffee purchase or something. I'll look around and see what we have. Okay, that way if y'all choose to do so, then it's there and you can use it. If you choose not to, then you choose not to. So I'm honestly flattered you guys enjoy what we're doing here and the information we're sharing and everything. I'm glad you guys found value in it. That means a lot to me. Oh, Corey, thank you. Paying you for your brain juice. Give us more brain juice. Corey, I love that. And by the way, my brain juice is usually dark roast, just so you know. It's good though. Uh, appreciate that, Corey. Thank you. All right, let's see. If someone who is on the right-hand path but wants to go on the left-hand path, how do they transition? You literally say, "I'm going to do this." Here's the thing: the right-hand path, Saeed, and the left-hand path, they are not separate paths. Magic is magic. It is your choices, it is your actions that would determine. That is it. Nothing more. You can utilize any system in any way if you so choose. Um, yeah, there's no need to transition from left or right. It can be hard in some areas depending on what you're thinking, but yeah, it's magic is magic. It's how you think of magic like a tool. Whether I am using a hammer in my left hand or whether I'm using it in my right hand, it's still a hammer. I'm just using it in a different hand. So yeah, you just do it. Let's see. Um, let's see. Every now and then. Modern time, it's good for doing plenty. Plan. It's all the coffee. It's all the coffee. Coffee's amazing. Let's see. Brains. Trying to catch up on some of these. See, joking Corey. So just gives us other methods to say thank you for your work. So that's appreciative. That's appreciative. And I get what you're saying. And I think you all have seen my struggle since I've started this channel. I mean, first off, let's be honest, I'm not technologically inclined. I've had to learn a lot of tech just to do this. And the fact that the channel took off the way it did, I'm still adjusting to. Oh my God. Do you guys realize we're at like 9,980 subs? We are almost at 10K. Can you freaking believe that? There's a chance. There is actually a real chance by the time we do the live stream next week, this channel will hit 10K. I can't freaking believe it. But anyway, sorry. I think you guys have seen it's been that thing where it's really weird to know that there are so many people out there that I can help, that I am helping, and that are actually interested in what this crazy old Southerner might have to say. But it's been worth it because the emails I get, the messages, the private messages in the community forums of how much my information has helped both beginners and adepts alike. Because I know adepts, like, I never thought about it from that perspective. And they messaged me about how applying that perspective just completely shifted their paradigm and really helped them break through barriers. To know something I built has helped so many people, to me, that's freaking amazing. That is golden right there. So yeah, it's hard for me to grasp the value of what I'm putting out there sometimes. So there we go. Who here isn't subscribed? Yeah, if you're here and you're not subscribed, by all means, please do subscribe. Click that little bell icon thing down there and make sure you turn on notifications. So anytime the videos go live or I get on here to stream and decide to do something goofy, you're notified about it. Let's see. See, as to which entity would be best for a hex or a curse, here's the kicker. Hex and curse isn't just a blanket term. You need to look at what you want the hex or the curse to do. If the hex and the curse falls into the purview of a particular spirit or entity, they are a great entity to go to for that. So if you want just a general hexy, cursey entity of any kind, look for someone who deals with conflicts, battles, or war, because it's an attack. So you'd need to look into those on a general perspective. Though I find if you understand the parameters in which the curse or the hex is to be laid down, then you find an entity who has a focus in that area, then you tend to get better results. It's not as easy as this one's good at cursing, this one's good at cursing, because cursing and hexing is a much larger and broader category than is talked about these days. We talk about like a hex or a curse as a single thing, and it's not. It is as unique, and each one is uniquely shaped to the situation at hand. A curse or a hex is as much a work of art as any form of magic or spell. And there is a certain beauty to that artistic creativity. So I hope that helps a little bit. I bought the Poetic Edis because of your recommendation on a live. Oh, you're going to enjoy that, Corey. The Poetic Edis, and I hope you got Jackson Crawford's because I absolutely love his translation on it. But they're all pretty good. It's a great read. I think you're going to love it. You are so open. We appreciate it. And you help me with many other worldly questions, especially my brother's attached entity. I try to remain open minded. I do. In I think it was one of the vlogs I did. I actually put my own belief system to the test at least once a year. I always try to test my own beliefs. I try to believe that you have to test that. You have to push your own beliefs. You can't just get in that comfort zone and stay there. So I question why I believe what I believe. And that's actually one of the things this has really helped with because um, the moment you're on the YouTube, you get bombarded with questions, thoughts, ideals, and theories. And some of them feel out there. Some of them seem reasonable, but even some of like the way out there, like Pluto theories, are like, I find myself sitting there drinking coffee, and um, my brain never stops, and I'll be turning some of these over, and slowly but surely they start to make a little bit of sense, and I end up writing them down because I want to pursue that thought line further, even if it sounds completely ludicrous, because some of them start to gain a little traction as I think about them a little. And I think it's good to step outside of what you think you know. So, yeah, I try to remain as open minded as possible. So, what do I think of Conway's work? Find myself skipping portions, astrology, timing, rituals. Okay. Uh, I started with Conway's work. I won't lie. It contradicts itself in practically every book. And book to book, it contradicts itself. And yes, there are parts that many magicians, like myself, the astrology sections really just didn't cut. Now, I did have the blessing to sit down and talk with Miss Conway and her work and share my work. She is, in fact, the person who inspired me to publish my research on dragons. And she admitted a lot of hers was edited and filtered for publications of the time and the period and the frame and the audience in which she was presenting to. And actually, it was interesting to find out that many of my findings mirrored her findings. Um, and since I was in a position to publish without pre-existing concept or reputation on a publisher, if I could find a publisher to publish it. She highly, highly suggested I do that. In fact, she gave me a list of publishers to avoid, which I found interesting. Now, I also came into it in a way where when I decided to do it as a physical virtual class, I didn't need a publisher. I didn't have to filter it through any of that. So I actually do like her works and I respect her as a magician and a researcher. But you're right, those books are a little wonky. In fact, her third book is essentially a complete remake of the first book because she basically wished she'd never published Dancing with Dragons. Mystical Dragon Magic is probably, if you buy one of Conway's books, that's really the only one you should probably buy largely because the bulk system path working that's in that one book is the most functional. And even she admits it's functional, but she wished she'd done better. And she had plans to redo it, rework it, and I think many of us know she didn't get that opportunity. So I hope by taking her suggestions and publishing my work, I hope and pray that I can do her proud as well. We will have to see. So, hope that answers your question a little bit. Boone is a great one from the 72 Good Experience. Boone is great. However, my personal favorite entity to work with when it comes to finances is the Dragon X Boone Well, which, if you go on my channel, I did do an entire video on him. Fantastic dragon to work with when it comes to building financial security, wealth, and even helping to learn um, financial knowledge. So yeah, I mean, he takes a very real, and I mean, I know a lot of people on this channel who has reached out to Exponwell, and their entire financial situation has flipped. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, this day and age, I actually would recommend Exponwell over any other entity, point blank. Let's see. Here's one for you. What do you think of aliens? Okay, Corey, that's a perfectly legit question. Okay, so first off, many of you know I take a very scientific view on a lot of things. Now, knowing what I know about space, how big it is, and what astronomers have learned, and the fact that we've identified hundreds of planets in our galaxy alone that could potentially harbor life, I honestly don't think when you play the odds that it's very likely we are alone in this galaxy just on playing the odds scientifically, numerically. I really don't. Have any of them visited the Earth? That is a bit of another question entirely. I'm not entirely sure I buy into that just yet. I do think a lot of people who are researching this, unfortunately, are a bit more almost zealotry in religion when it comes to it. So that every UFO, which I've said this on the channel before, UFO stands for unidentified flying object. So if I throw a bag of dog crap across the road here, somebody sees it flying through the air and they can't identify it, that's a UFO. And everything that's unidentified, they scream it's an alien. We can't prove what it is. It's an alien, and that annoys me, which is why I have for a long time avoided UFO research and discussing it here on this channel. But I'm actually wanting to start discussing it because you know what? One of my researcher friends hit me hard with, why don't you help be the solution instead of sitting down? Because if I talk about how you could better look at it scientifically to bring back credibility to this area of research, then we could hopefully outweigh the more zealotry side of it. But yeah, by and large, I do think there is definitely the possibility of life out there. Whether it's visited or not, that's another thing entirely. Do I believe in weird, unexplained UFOs that we can't necessarily tag or explain? Yeah, there's plenty of evidence of them out there. The Blue Book reports all this incidents, out on the West Coast here in America. Really, really cool things that I would love to chance to get to research deeper and put through more of a critical lens and a scientific lens as opposed to a zealotry just going in with predisposed belief. But I do actually think it's a very big possibility, Corey. Still not a big proponent of the ancient astronaut theory. I'll be honest with you. That's one that I've seen no backing or proof on. Just throw that out there. Whoa, we jumped. Angela, hey, you showed up a little late, but great to see you, girl. Mugs up to you. And Corey, how about dropping that like? Yeah, Corey, you got a point. How about giving us that thumbs up? Give us a hand there. The maggot said. Let's see. I don't think this is what you're talking about, Practical Magus, but Practical Magus is talking about how he goes back and forth between, if I'm misunderstanding this, Magus, I apologize, working on himself and working with entities. And that's actually something that I plan to put in my evocation course, but I'm hoping I may do a video on it anyways. When we're working with entities, I don't care what I'm working with, whether I'm working with an entity or just doing magic. My primary focus always is on me and empowering me. I don't just want an entity that can do something for me, because then in my mind, that's not empowering me. That's just me asking for a handout. I don't like that. Maybe it's a Southern thing. I don't know. I don't like that. So I spend most of my time working with entities, learning from them and learning to do for myself. This gives me the knowledge base and everything to do for myself. That way I don't have to depend on them. And I think that is generally the better way to do it. Now, that's not to say the delegation of work is a bad thing, because there are times when a magician has his plate so full that he could call up his buddy, his friend, and say, hey, can you handle this for me while I handle all this other stuff? In those cases, I will ask entities to take care of situations for me. That's delegation. But again, I work with these entities as colleagues, friends, and equals. So if they were ever to come to me and say, hey, Drake, would you handle this issue? It would only be fair and respectful that I do so in return. But yeah. Let's see. So thanks, mate. Mystic Dragon was the one that I found. Magic is science and art. Those on the path will find the right parts. Seem even more pertinent from it. Thanks for your response, Drake. No problem, Soul. No problem. No problem. I know sometimes with my overly logical view, I can sometimes come across harsh on some topics, and I try not to. I think it's just a part of my charming asshole personality. Luckily, I think you all tend to enjoy that. Well, it's an unidentified object. It's an extreme example, but you have to use the term as it's intended, not as we would hope. And that's kind of important when we're talking about UFOs. Because most people, you say UFO, they immediately think alien. UFO has nothing to do with alien at all. This channel has definitely showed me to becoming my higher self. Awesome. Awesome. Glad I could help somewhat in that. You keep up that great work and you be the best you can be, Magus. I've been watching about 3 months. Wow. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to top off my coffee here. Can't have a coffee hour without coffee. Still got a long night ahead of me, too. And looking at the thermostat, it ain't cooling off any. But I'm trying to avoid turning on the air conditioner because it's not far enough into summer to turn that thing on just yet. Look how far we've come in 100 years. Origin. Now picture us in another 100 years with exponential growth in another. That is true, Saul. That is true. It's one of those things where if you look through human history, which, by the way, I love human history. This is something me and my daughter nerd out on quite a bit. The biggest points of growth that you find in human history also follow the biggest points of hardship. And then the growth slows down during, I guess you could say, kind of the good times, the easy times, whatever. And looking at the face of the globe right now, we're not going to go into that. Y'all know we don't do politics on here. And the amount of people who, I guess the best word is to waking up to pursue a better tomorrow. Whatever that better tomorrow will be, that viewpoint of a better tomorrow is going to differ from person to person, culture to culture. There is no one true better tomorrow. Let's be honest. We got to consider perspectives here. But that human consciousness pushing for a better tomorrow, that human consciousness awakening, I would have to say yes, 100 years from now, the human race will be very, very drastically different from who we are today, because how far we've come in the last 100 years and how far we can go in the next 100 years. I think it's actually a really exciting time if you really look at it from a historical growth perspective. At the same time, well, it's also kind of a crappy time to be alive. Things are getting a little rocky, but yeah, I'm a hopeful old boy on this one. I really am. Great to see you busy. Great to see you've been busy at work, but work pays at least. Yep, it does. Gonna. Whoa! We jumped again. Also, Southern don't like handout, hence why I pay you for your brain juice tonight. Aw, Corey, that's sweet. And that's a way to throw my own statement right back at me. I love it. Love it. Thank you very much. Let's see. No Stargate, got it. Hey, I would not be opposed to a Stargate, Luna. I have seen nothing to make me believe in it, but I would not be opposed to it, because if we had Stargate style technology, that means we could teleport, let's say, our Navy sailors home. So they wouldn't have to be out for 9 months on the boat. They could visit their families quite easily. Just zoop, 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 zoop. And I'd be so down for that. I would be down for it. Heck, I would teleport and visit her on the boat, have a picnic on the flat deck. Yeah, I really would. But if we could figure out teleport technology, I would be down for it. I've just seen nothing at this point to back it for me personally. And y'all know I'm about the data. I'm going to be the skeptic. I'm going to be the doubter first. That's what I do. Let's see. Hey, Drake, I watched some of your favorite, and I just recently subbed and lowered. Loved your video on the triple goddess, and I'm starting to get into Wicca. Hey, glad you found that one useful, mate. Wicca is actually where I got my start. I don't really say I practice a particular religion anymore, but I have a lot of dear friends very close to me who are still practicing Wiccan. And yeah, it's a belief system I've seen help a lot of people out, and I wish you the absolute best in both your practice and your spirituality there. Congrats, mate. Congrats. And Lord Fowl, I have to say this, okay? This is going to show my age and my dorkiness, but your name made me think of Ironbeak from Darkwing Duck and how he worked for the fowl industry. Just so you know that. Love the name, by the way. Love the name. Yes, it is, Jerry. You say asshole, I say direct and honest. Well, that's true. That is true. I am direct, I am blunt, and I am honest, and that is honestly why a lot of people consider me to be an asshole, but I'm okay with it. I am comfortable with who I am. I am not here to make friends. I'm just here to share some information, and luckily there are people who tend to like me for that. But I have lived my life with one thought when it comes to friends. If I have to come up to you on eggshells, if I have to put on a filter, if I have to alter who I am authentically to call you my friend, I don't need you in my life. So I keep my circle small, but I know my friends like me for who I am. Let's see. Right now. Yes, we can. We can definitely make it through. Whoa. What's your take on using custom-made chaos sigils in parallel with your ritual work with demons? I'll be honest with you. A sigil's a sigil's a sigil. There is no one true sigil. We got this whole concept that like these sigils within the Goetia are the true sigils of the demonic kings and spirits. Oh, no, they're the most popular. They're not the true sigil. You can work with these entities, call them up, and ask them to give you a custom sigil that is literally, it's like a direct line from you to them instead of having a phone. Think of the popular sigils like the phone number. Everybody can look the phone number up. Everybody knows the phone number. Takes you to the most popular switchboard. And then there's the direct line to their private phone, whatever. If you had a custom sigil that you made or got from them, it actually is going to work better than the more popular sigils. In fact, most entities in reality don't have sigils. How many people are on the internet right now looking up sigils for Odin, Freya, Loki, or the dragons, for example? There's so many entities out there that just do not have sigils. They don't got them. Sigils are actually relatively modern in terms of overall magic, which, mind you, the timeline for magic is freaking huge. But it is a relatively new concept. So if you were to use a custom sigil that you made using whatever sigil making technique you wanted, that'd be perfectly fine. I've done that many a times in contacting an entity where I couldn't find a pre-existing sigil. I like to do my research on an entity first, but if I don't find a sigil, I don't sweat it. I just make one using whether it be a alphabetical circle, whether I use magic square of some kind, whether I use chaos magic to construct it via alphabetical means. This day and age, most of my sigils are actually crafted using Norse runes due to my practice in dragon magic and Norse magic being two of my primaries, and they work absolutely freaking fantastically. Um, Now, I do, once I get that connection, I ask them if they would like me to continue to use the one I have constructed or if they have one they would rather me use, in which case, if they give that to me, then I'll use that. Otherwise, I'll just keep using the one I got. And you don't even need a sigil. You can actually contact them with just their name. So it's pretty easy peasy. Um, which these are things that when I get the evocation class going, I'm definitely going to deep dive in and talk about because there's a lot of ideals out there that have been taught, and I don't know if it's gatekeeping or just they're teaching a process without teaching the why it was there. I'm of two minds about that, but I found that the majority of the way it's taught tends to slow down, hinder, or prevent people from progressing in their path. So I'm trying to tear down some of those walls. But yeah, totally use a custom sigil. Can you see spirits like they're actually there at any time? Yeah, I can if I choose. Which I do keep my site open most of the time, and I'll be honest, my house is like Grand Central Station most of the time. Which doesn't tend to bother me, but at the same time, I never feel alone, which is kind of nice. Let's see, Corey, this previous comment I want to know too. Uh, Oh, is that the one? Can I see spirits? Yeah, I can. I don't need to do a ritual or anything to see spirits wandering around. If anyone's paid attention to the entities I work with, I've worked with a lot of entities that do work with spirits of the dead. And because of that, I do work with spirits of the dead a lot. Um, and yeah, my house is Grand Central Station, and I do try to help them as much as I can when I can. It's part of the job that comes with different aspects of my path. Um, and yeah, I don't really shut down my site. So my wife does it too. She will see them wander in from time to time. My daughter, actually, there's two dragons that hang around. I never talk about them for different reasons. Last time she was visiting, she was like, is there? And she perfectly described one of those two. And I was like, yep, 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 yep. So just those things, you know. Let's see. Luna or Drake, if you made a Stargate phone number using six correspondences to your location, what would you use? I don't think you'd get by without putting coffee and maybe my hat in there for me. Um, I don't know, it'd be tricky. I've had so many people put different things in there for me, probably research something where I can take notes and whatnot. Uh, red meat would definitely be something to help get tied into me for sure. I eat way too much red meat for that not to be. But red meat's also what's helping me get healthy, so that's good. Uh, and probably a cold beer and a margarita. Well, spirit guides and spirits, as far as like human spirits, are actually different in tangent. Um, Explain spirit guides to him as they're not spirits, they're entities from the other side, from the other planes, similar to angels. Not all spirit guides are angels, some are, but not all are. That would be a fair way to explain it. That way he understands they're not human spirits. Now, the only hiccup in this is some spirit guides have occasionally been ancestral spirits. If it's an ancestral spirit, it is a human spirit, but it's still the that's the foggy gray area. But if you're just trying to sneak it through, leave out the foggy gray area. Your journal. Yeah. My journal is a big one. I am analog as can be. I gotta have my pen and paper. Making gumbo now. Do you want some? Oh yeah, I love me some gumbo. I love me some gumbo. I need to make some actually. I do. Also, I know this has been talked about some, but it is potential I may be in the middle of a move at a point later this year. We don't know. We got to see what's going on. I'm not going to go too much into it. But we will make sure that something in some way you'll know whether the streams are going to be missed, whether they're going to be pre-recorded, or y'all are going to love this. I'm thinking I may actually have my daughter Halloween and or Peachy do a couple streams during that time period where I may be without internet. So if we do get to that point, which would be far later in the year, be sure to come in here, give them a hard time, show them some love as well. And y'all have seen my daughter, little chaotic squirrel thing that comes in here and occasionally bugs the living tar out of me. And many of y'all know Peachy, of course. So those two will probably be theoretically running the stream later this year. We may even do a test run to make sure they know what they're doing before that. So when I can still, help them work things out and whatnot, we may actually get that a test run. So we may see those two do a live stream on their own, which I won't lie, since it will be on their own, will be solo. I'm actually looking at sitting back and watching and see how they do. So I'll be in the audience with you all while we do the test run for those two. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, PG. Yeah, you heard me. See, you're getting called out, girl. That's right. Everybody say hi, Peachy. Oh yeah. So when we will do a test stream, I don't know, but when we do, please be kind to them. Try not to give them too much of a headache. Go easy on them for the little bit there, because they are doing us a favor so we can keep the Magickal Coffee Hour rocking and rolling and having some fun. And because we don't want to miss a Sunday of some fun and occult chat and just goofy. They may not be able to answer as many questions as I can, but I can guarantee you they will have a lot of fun and you guys will enjoy it. Let's see here. Oh, we're past our hour. They've already been throwing clocks at me, but I had to just share that little tidbit. Let's see what we got here. That is. I love that name, Corey. October. That is amazing. Let's catch up. Let's see if I got any last things here before I go, because I got a meeting to get to. JK here. Okay. Do remember we are over on the Gilded site. So if you guys haven't transferred over to Gilded, by all means, please do. It is a fantastic site. I really think it's going to help us grow the community a lot. So I think this bump in the road is actually going to be a massive benefit. Massive benefit. Happy Tea, absolutely. You do. Make sure. What's that with more information? I do have a website, workingdragonmystic.com, where you can access the courses. I think you can access the YouTube channel there. I think the merch store is even linkable from there. But the Gilded website, which is you have to go to the About section here on the YouTube channel to find that link. And just click that. It'll shoot you over to Gilded. You may have to download the app on your computer or phone if you currently don't have it, but that's okay. It's pretty user-friendly. Even I was able to figure it out. That's got to say something, right? And it took them, I don't know how long, to get me to use Discord. So it's pretty intuitive. Put a question up about Kitchen Witch brownies. Having trouble finding a recipe. Kitchen Witch brownies. I may look into that. All right, everyone, I'm going to hop off here. You all have a fantastic night and a great week. Keep on working to better yourselves and your practice in any way you can. And I will see you all next week. Take care. Bye-bye.